Good afternoon, and big progress is underway today about your third stimulus check package, as we now have confirmation from the Majority Leader, Chuck Schumer, that he too will call a vote on the bill next week. Yesterday and this morning, I delivered news to you that Nancy Pelosi, the House Leader, will be calling for a vote for it early next week, as her House subcommittee managers will finalize their vote by Friday. Progress is underway, and in this video I explain to you how they're getting this done so quickly, and why there's actually a Plan B in place, but why Plan B is not one you want to default to. Meantime, what is going on about the negotiations, and how soon could you see this money in your hand? This is the third stimulus package. This is Biden's stimulus. This is a lot of money, and a lot of money that Americans need. In this video, I go over the process to get it done. This is a major recording of great news. The tide has turned, and we're heading to the finish line on Afternoons LALATE. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. This is Afternoons LALATE, and this is the first of a three-part programming block this afternoon. This show will go over what's going on to get the stimulus bill to a vote and to a law, and how soon you could see the money. The video right after this third stimulus will go into the detail of what's in there, and what things need to get modified and what things need to get added. Then after that, I'm back with Bean and Mitch, in which I go over your questions and answers and your reaction, and the documents you need to have ready to get the money as soon as the program goes live. Because a lot of these require you to apply. They're not automatic for you to receive. It's a lot of money, and you want to get it as soon as you can get it. So please subscribe. The subscribe link is in the description and also in the pinned comment. It's important you subscribe because you don't want to miss a video at any time. I'm keeping you more up to date than any channel with 24 hours of programming around the clock. And now this channel is in its 9th month at 92 million views. Our focus is 100 million views by the end of the month. Help us get there. Next, also like this video. It helps the video appear higher in the algorithm rankings. And finally, become a Purple Power member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Calcino VIP. The link is in the pinned comment as well, and also in the description. You get access to exclusive information and before anyone else to ensure that you get the money that you're owed under the third stimulus package before anyone else. In this video, I'm going to go over the procedural reaction this afternoon from congressional leaders and the White House to get this to a finality, to get it to a law. And I'll explain to you how there's a two-path process underway and why that two-path process is not particularly what you want to be rallying for, because the first path is the one that works. The second one is a little bit too narrowly tailored. Meantime, I'll go over how soon you could see money if they do this as promised. It's all really exciting for you and me, and I'm ready to get to the breaking news. The breaking news this afternoon is that we now have confirmations from both the House and the Senate that a vote on your third stimulus package bill will come next week. To pass a bill into a law, it first has to be approved by the House. It then has to be approved by the Senate, and then it lands on the president's table at which he signs it. Those three steps have to follow. But where will they get those three steps done? How will they get them done? And through what manners? That has been really the discussion du jour every day with the White House. And here is where we are today. First, we have confirmation that Plan A is fully underway. Plan A is a bill, House, Senate, President by the end of next week. And where are we right now on Plan A? Let me give you the update. The House of Representatives subcommittees are working on the bill. What is a subcommittee? Subcommittee is divided by subject matters. For example, the Housing Subcommittee is dealing with issues about rent and rent eviction and money for your rent. The Business Subcommittee is dealing with issues like business grants and business loans. So what type of issues are they doing and how are they doing it? They're focusing on language and amounts. So they want to ensure the eligibility window, whether it's retro or not, the inclusiveness of the bill that includes these type of people and those type of people, and finally the amount of the money, that is this amount of money, not that amount of money, are up for chat. And by the end of Friday, each of those subcommittees will submit to the House leader, Nancy Pelosi, their support of the provisions as so corrected. And they will be done. The subcommittees on those particular subject matters will be done. It's important for you to understand, however, that the time for the followers of this channel, Purple Power, to push is now, and really right now. Why? Because those subcommittees members are focusing on changing language that you may want to have changed right now. And by Friday, they're done. There won't be any more changes to language, numbers, or provisions after Friday. Don't expect the Senate to make changes. It's the House right now. So take this video and share it on social media with the hashtags FPUCRetro, SS200, and MSC to ensure that those congressional leaders in the House, especially, like the progressives, like the progressive leader, like Nancy Pelosi, and like those subcommittee members, ensure they include the provisions you want to have included as the way you want them to have concluded. By Friday, that will be done. And then next week, Nancy Pelosi will call it for a final vote in the House of Representatives to be passed. The bill will pass next week in the House of Representatives. The House of Representatives is controlled by the Democrats. So then what? Well, Chuck Schumer, head of the Senate, your new majority leader, it's no longer Mitch McConnell, confirms that the bill will be called for a vote next week. Again, to say something obvious, what I want to make it very clear. Mitch McConnell is no longer the majority head. It's now Chuck Schumer. So Chuck Schumer calls bills for a vote when Chuck Schumer wants to call bills for a vote. This is not 2020 where a bill lands in the Senate and it dies anymore. It lands in the Senate, and if Chuck Schumer wants to call for a vote, he will call for a vote. But we already know he is. He confirmed in a new statement to press today that he's calling the bill for a vote next week. And the bill will pass. Why? Because the Democrats have the control of the Senate. Now understand, any tiebreaker between Senate Democrats and Senate Republicans is broken by VP Harris. She is the president of the Senate under the Constitution, and she breaks any tiebreaker as a Democrat. And with that, the bill goes to the president to sign. All really exciting, great news. That's plan A. How soon could you see this becoming law? You could potentially see this law by next weekend. Not this weekend, but next weekend. Really incredible, great news. So how soon could you see money? Now, in the video after this, I go over each of the items of the third stimulus package. You know, if you've been a subscriber for a while, that some of these items are not automatic. You have to apply for them, as I call it, a purple hawk. You have to be ready as a hawk to pounce. First come, first serve. 500 people apply before you. The 500 people will get it before you. The 500 people after you will have to hope that there's still money around. It's first come, first serve for a lot of these programs. That's why you have to subscribe to this channel and be a purple hawk and be ready to pounce as soon as the program goes live. In the video on Being a Mitch this afternoon, I'm going to go over the documents I want you to have ready because I want you to ensure that you know how to get things like rent aid or business grants. It's not automatic. You have to have documents ready for it, and those documents are very clear. Next, some items are automatic. Those obvious automatic items are the stimulus check. So how much is the stimulus check? How soon would you see it? Do you do something? Can you do something? Let me go over all those details right now. And I'll also sort of touch a little bit upon the issue of the second stimulus check, the $600 one. The stimulus check under the third stimulus package is $1,400 for individuals. It appears that it will be $1,400 for children, but that could still change. But $1,400 for individuals, double that for married couples, $1,400 for children. Adult dependents, you'll get $3,200. If you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, Railroad benefits, you get a check. The amount is dependent upon whether you are an adult dependent or not an adult dependent. It is not dependent upon whether you are on benefits or not. Then the obvious questions I always get. Taken out for child support. Unlikely to be taken out for child support, but no determination just yet. Taken out for debt collections or past due amounts, unlikely to be the case as well. But we still are waiting for those things to happen. How soon could you see this check? Well, I told you through all of 2020 that Steve Mnuchin, then Treasury Secretary to Donald Trump, represented 10 days after it becomes law. You would see a stimulus check 10 days after it becomes law. In fall 2020, we saw a quite different narrative. As soon as the second stimulus package was approved in Mar-a-Lago, the $600 one, Steve Mnuchin said it went out that day. What? He said it went out that day and that you could see the check within hours. Some viewers actually did get the check within less than 12 hours. It was shocking. Other viewers did get it within 24 hours, and some got it within 72 hours. But the vast majority of viewers are just starting to get the second stimulus check from middle December now, today, and yesterday, and Saturday, and last Friday. So I have two messages about that. One, if you're wondering where your $600 stimulus check is from fall of 2020 and you're an eligible person for that check, give it some time. A lot of viewers are now seeing it show up. It's coming in a white envelope. If it's a debit card, expect for a white envelope or expect for a beige envelope. Don't think it's going to be one or the other. Just be ready for everything. Be careful with the mail. Some of the times it looks like junk mail. Don't throw it away. That's the first thing. The second message I have to report to you is that under third stimulus, we have about the same routing times, that ultimately some people could see the check for the third stimulus within a day. The vast majority will see it within 10 days. And some viewers, like the ones this week, will see it about a month later. So ultimately, it just sort of depends on what the situation is. Next, I get the questions all the time. Is there anything that I can do to update my information with IRS to ensure that this and that? No, it looks like there's nothing to update for second stimulus or for third stimulus. But Janet Yellen has indicated that she's working on a way to ensure that any missing checks are paid. That's item number one. IRS.gov says that there's going to be working on that as well. And that the fastest way to get a missing check is to trigger a filing of a tax return as soon as the tax year starts to file, and that's February 12th. So what is Plan B? What is this Plan B? Plan A sounds fine. Why is there a Plan B? Well, in a short minute, I'm going to get to Plan B and what you should think about with Plan B and the reaction from congressional leaders about Plan A versus Plan B. It all impacts you, whether you're on SSI or SSDI, whether you're looking for that stimulus check or whether you're looking for hazard pay or business grants. Then I'll be getting to some of your 2,000 questions as well from yesterday's video. I encourage you to drop comments in this video as soon as you hear something that you're unclear about, and I'll try to answer your questions in tomorrow's video as well. Yesterday, Chuck Schumer said that some of the reaction during the negotiations of the stimulus situation has not been particularly positive. And he said the same thing today. In referring to Republicans, Chuck Schumer said, some of the comments have been admittedly disheartening, but we're always hopeful that some of them will see the light. And remember, even on reconciliation, Republicans can join us. What is this reconciliation? It's Plan B. It's called reconciliation. I know it's a big word. It's a very hard word to say. Let's just call it Plan B, shall we? It's called Plan B. And Plan B actually has to be done, but not for stimulus. It concerns the budget of the federal government again. Sounds like CR for stimulus last year, doesn't it? Yeah. Plan B has to be done. And normally you would not put stimulus in a Plan B. But guess what? The plan currently for Democrats is to mirror their plan for a bill by also having a backup plan, Plan B, and doing this budget bill as well. The backup plan is not a great backup plan because ultimately Plan B doesn't include everything in it. It can't, as a matter of law, include everything that Plan A has in it. So they have to throw things out and just do a few things. Who wants just a few things? You don't want it. I don't want it. I hope it doesn't lead to that, says Senate Majority Whip Dick Durbin, a Democrat out of Illinois. I agree, Senator Majority Whip Dick. It shouldn't be like that. In the past, Republicans have changed some of the rules relative to reconciliation to accommodate the legislative efforts. But going towards a Democrat versus Republican Party line would send the wrong message, says Senator Todd Young, a Republican of Indiana. That Republicans are now worried that it looks like that they say no on the bill, it may look very bad for them. They don't want to look like they don't want to give you stimulus. We need to be unified and come to some measure of consensus, says Todd Young. Now, Joe Biden has been having Zoom chats with 16 to 20 members of Congress, Republicans and Democrats, since Sunday. And those Zoom chats have been positive, but they haven't resulted in a result. And as Dusty Johnson, Republican out of South Dakota, says, the reconciliation plan B is not the right way to handle the plan. The broad agreement is the preferred approach, meaning plan A. We need to do it completely robust. But some of the big things may not survive. For example, the $15 federal tax increase, $15 an hour minimum wage under the third stimulus package, that may not work because so many Republicans don't like it. But Bernie Sanders says, hey, we won the party, we won the Senate, we won the House. What's the problem? You don't want to do what we don't want to do. We'll just go ahead and sit back because we're going to go do it. That's Bernie Sanders' message from yesterday today, which is basically our way or the highway, but, come along and I'll hold your hand if you want to join us. A sort of bipartisan, but sort of my only way approach to the situation. We will make the case that if you raise the minimum wage, people will be reluctant on public assistance. At worst, it's plan A, and at best, it's plan B, says Yarmouth. Not all agree, however. And then there's Senator Kristen Gillibrand, a Democrat, who says she likes plan B. Most, however, don't like plan B. The reason why is because many of the items that you're entitled to may not survive. As Bernie Sanders said yesterday, we won. If you either want to come to the table, then come to the table. Otherwise, we got to get moving. And getting moving is sort of the messaging that you got out at Purple Power, the Follows Us channel, yesterday. And that's what congressional leaders are now saying. That ultimately, if the Republicans look like they're agreeing to the situation, and the Democrats seem that they have a consensus, the question is, why is it moving so slowly? If you're moving too slowly, we're going to start going without you, says Bernie Sanders. And that's actually the message of this channel. Get it going, get it right now, and get it going. And let me see what your reaction was. Let me answer some of the incredible questions from people yesterday on Afternoons LLA. Nearly 2,000 questions and comments, and let me get to them right now. Sandra Simpson. Yes, they campaigned on this. They got the votes. She's referring to the $2,000 stimulus check. Time to do their job, but put a behind it, I say. Referring to a but. Doris Panilligan. Immediately is not next week. It's now. I love that, Doris. Thank you for your comment. She's saying do it right now. That's not next week. Immediate is a week later. Paulette Richardson. I'm not holding my breath. They will say and do whatever they want to do or go by and it will come up with some kind of excuse. Patricia Spadea. I'm not a fan of Biden, but today is what, the 26th? Too slow, yes, because we are hurting and refuse to be forgotten. Well said, Patricia. Thomas Yellowhair. They've been saying next week for months. Kind of seems like they're slowly arguing there about nonsense again. Carolyn Smith. Why not this week? There's 3 more days still left in this week. Well, actually, Carolyn, they can work Saturday and Sunday as well, so you just pencil them in. Carolyn's reminding us that her comment was on Tuesday, of course. Carolyn's reminding us that there's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Why can't you get it done this week? Thank you, Carolyn, for that great comment. Jada Baby, we got to pray on it. God got us. I hope God has your stimulus check, and I hope it's multiple stimulus. God, you got multiple stimulus checks for us? Manny Silva needs a bill for Social Security a month. Molly Hagan, we will see if it happens. Hopefully it does get relief now. Joseph Lowe, well, he did promise to us he would get it to us right away. And when are we going to see the $200 a month for SSI, SSDI? I still don't see it yet. The reason you don't see it yet is no one has mentioned it. That's the video after this. Join me next on Purple on Afternoon's Chat continuation. D. Johnson. Yes, I contracted the government and contacted everyone. They all need to be contacted. We need help. Debbie Puckett. People are struggling with bills and food and childcare, and everything is going on. Mike Mays. This is how it happened with the other stimulus check. See what their excuses are next week. Viewers are particularly happy having to wait, even tomorrow. They want it done right now. But ultimately, you're working. You're working very good and you're achieving incredible success. The next push is to get the deal provisions in the bill as you so. Ultimately, you hold the key to get the revisions needed to be added to the third stimulus package. Hashtag FPUC Retro, hashtag MSC, and hashtag SS200. Share this video and tag elected officials on social media and make it very clear what changes you need to get going, because the push is underway with less than 48 hours to get this done. Meantime, if you've not subscribed, please subscribe to this channel. Like this video and consider becoming a member. The member link is in the pinned description and also in the pinned comment. Purple Hawk, Purple Power at Calcino VIP. Coming up next is third stimulus, in which I go over the deal provisions that you need to hear and be ready to pounce and get them before anyone else. Then I'm back live answering your questions on Being a Mitch. Stay informed, stay focused, and save that life for more.